Hi everybody, it's Nikki here and welcome to a Bookish Friday video. And today's video is going to be my January TBR, and I am going to be playing a brand new TBR game. So I have kept you guys guessing as to what the game is, and I'm going to keep you guessing. I haven't put the name in the title, but this is my new TBR game. So my TBR game is Bookgammon. I came up with the name myself. I'm quite proud, thank you very much. I love to play the game backgammon, but my husband doesn't like to play it with me very often because he says the rules are a little confusing. And so I don't get to play this very often. So when I was thinking of a TBR game, I was originally going to do like a pack of cards with prompts on them. But when I was designing them, I kind of messed it up and I got really annoyed with myself. So I thought, well, what else can I do? And then I spied my beautiful backgammon case that I bought a few years ago. Well, I say a few years ago, it's about 15. Maybe even 20 years ago. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to have a search on YouTube, see if anybody else has used backgammon to choose their TBRs. Nobody else has a backgammon TBR game. So I think I'm unique in this one. So yeah, welcome to Bookgammon and let the madness commence. So here is my board, all colourful and pretty, and no, I didn't draw on my board. I cut up some paper to fit in here and then traced and coloured in the triangles. I didn't want to ruin my beautiful backgammon board. I love this game. So as you can see, all of these triangles are colour coordinated according to my categories. So red is thriller, pink is contemporary, orange is classic, green is middle grade, yellow is graphic novel manga, purple is non-fiction, and blue is fantasy sci-fi. So that is that. We have our prompt cards here, all colour coordinated. So let's give them a shuffle. Very bad shuffle there, Nicola. Wonderful, wonderful. We have our 2 dice and our dice shaker. And then in backgammon, you would normally load up your first side with all of your pieces. However, I am only going to have 2 pieces. So I will be moving 2 pieces around the board to choose my books, which means that each roll I will be picking 2 books. So there we go. So we start off the board first. So let's go for our first roll. So we have a 5 and a 2. So we can move 1 piece, 5 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we move 1 piece, 2. So there we go. Our first prompts are for fantasy and middle grade. So here's a prompt card. So our middle grade is to reread a favourite. Ooh, I know what I want to read. And the fantasy is about fae. So a story that has fae in it. So there's our first prompts. So for the middle grade, I'm going to reread A Darkness of Dragons by S.A. Patrick. I read this back in 2019 and absolutely adored it, and I do believe that the sequel is coming out in 2021. So I was definitely ready for a reread of this anyway in preparation for the sequel coming out. This is a story about a young boy called Patch who is a wannabe Pied Piper, and he got into some trouble, so it didn't quite qualify as a Pied Piper, but he's still going around pretending that he is fully qualified, and he causes a little bit of trouble and has to deal with consequences of that. One of my favourite characters of all time is in here, and that is Bava the Hippogriff. And yeah, I want a cuddly toy of Bava, really, because he's adorable. So yes, definitely up for a reread of this. Our second roll. A 3 and a 1. Ooh. Okay. I'm going to roll this 1 and this 1 3. 1, 2, 3. So we have another middle grade, and then we have a classic. Ooh, what's the prompt? Okay. So our classic is a book written by a man, and our middle grade is a book with a good villain. Ooh, that should be good. So the middle grade, I chose The Dream Snatcher by Abby Elfinstone. And this has Mole Pecksniff wakes one night in the middle of the forest, lured there by a recurring nightmare, the one with the drums and the rattles and the masks. The Dream Snatcher is waiting. So this is a old library book, so it does have that shiny plastic wrapping on it, but it has been sort of removed from the library and put up for sale, so I picked it up. Abby Elfinstone is not one I've read before, but I know that she is a popular middle grade author, so it'll be really nice to finally get to read this. And the classic being written by a man, I went for something short, and I went for The Little Prince by Antoine de Saint-Exupéry. It is only a short one, but I thought we're gonna need some short ones. So yeah, it's only just over 100 pages. I've never read The Little Prince before, so I'm really excited to read this. This copy is published by Arcturus. So if you're liking the front cover of this, it's published by Arcturus, and you can normally pick these up from the works. Roll number 3. 3 and a 2. So I'm gonna roll this one 3, 1, 2, 3, and this one 2, 1, 2. So we have a non-fiction and a contemporary. So the contemporary is a book with diverse characters, and the non-fiction goes to my TBR mug. Okay, let's go get it. So for the contemporary, we had to read a diverse book. And so for that one, I've gone for this one. It is Two Boys Kissing by David Leviathan. So obviously we have two boys kissing. I believe that this is part of a kissing contest, and the people who, the couple that kiss for the longest win a prize. I don't know what the prize is, but I'm guessing that the real prize at the end of the day is a thing called love. So yeah, this should be really, really interesting. And the other prompt from this was my TBR mug. Now, it did land on a non-fiction, but my TBR mug has fiction books in it. I think there's some non-fiction in there, but this just has lots of books on pieces of paper like this. It's kind of full. So I won't necessarily pick out a non-fiction, but yeah, let's just pick. Okay, so we're going to go for this one. Ooh, Deep Light by Frances Hardinge. Okay, let me go grab that. Okay, so this is it. This is Deep Light by Frances Hardinge. I believe it's an electrifying story about a friendship as dark and dangerous as the ocean, and a journey as treacherous as the gods themselves. Now, I think you can see why I probably picked this up, because I thought it might have mermaids in it. I don't know if it does or not. I don't put it on my mermaid shelf because there's no There's nothing here that says mermaids. But you never know, it's based at the sea, it's based in the ocean, so you never know, there might be, I don't know. But yeah, and this one has gorgeous orange sprayed edges. It was a Waterstones signed exclusive edition. So yeah, you know I had to pick this book up when I saw it. So yes, I will be reading this one. Roll number 4. Oh no! It's a double! I have to move backwards because it's a double one and that is an odd number. So we have to move back 1, back 1. Oh no! That was not what I wanted. Okay, so we have a classic and a fantasy. So the classic is a female lead character and the fantasy is a husband picks. Ooh, he'll be happy for that one. He likes to get involved in my videos. For my female lead character, I went for this. It is The Secret Garden by, who wrote it? Frances H. Burnett. This is one of the Bath Treasury of Children's Classics editions, which is nice cloth bound and these beautiful like shiny details on it as well. It is also has sprayed edges. It also has some lovely artwork inside as well. I'm sure everyone knows the story of The Secret Garden. So we have this young girl who has become an orphan, has to go and live with family she never knew she had. But this family live in a big, massive house, but they are not happy. They are in mourning, I suppose, and the young boy of the house is thought to be unable to walk, and so he is kept upstairs alone in his bedroom, not allowed out. And this young girl basically brings happiness to this household. So yeah, by discovering a secret garden. So yeah, I'm going to be reading that one. Right, so hubby, you need to pick a book for me from these shelves.
Right.
Okay. Apart from that bottom one, because I've read all of those.
Don't want to be really mean and go for a really big book.
Or any on these shelves. I will let you know if I've already read it, because some of these I've read.
How many are you picking up?
Just the one.
One, okay.
And also if you pick like the second in a series and I haven't even started it yet or whatever. I read that one. Okay, so on that shelf, the books from the left to the right, up until the Little Mermaid. Yeah. So all of these ones I've read. Okay. These ones I haven't.
Okay.
All I can see is your back.
Right.
He's going for a mermaid book. Oh, oh! Did I stop him from picking a mermaid book? No, 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 no! Mummy's going to shump. Oh my goodness! You want me to read that one? Okay, that is the book that I'm going to be reading for hubby's pick.
Only because it's bronze and blue and it looks really cool.
So thank you very much, sweetheart.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
No worries.
And as you've just seen, for my husband's pick, he picked this, which is The Mermaid Handbook, an alluring treasury of literature, law, art, recipes and projects brought together by Carolyn Turgeon. This isn't so much a story, it is literally a handbook. It has got some gorgeous artwork in here, and it basically is all about mermaids. So where mermaid myth has come from. You even have pictures and information of real life mermaids or mermaid performers, I suppose. And it also has, look at this, beautiful silicone tails that you can purchase and buy and swim as a mermaid. Yeah, there are people out there that do that. I might not get this finished by the end of the month, but I will definitely try and read as much of it as I possibly can. But it looks like we're going to have quite a few of these books in this TBR, so... Okay, then we've got a 1 and a 4. So I'm going to move this one 1 and this one 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have contemporary and a thriller. So the thriller is by a popular author and the contemporary is a 2020 release. I have an idea for that. Cool. So for the thriller, I chose The Bat by Jo Nesbø. I have read The Snowman by Jo Nesbø and thoroughly enjoyed it. This man, he knows how to create a villain. That's all I'm going to say. The Snowman was just scary, but brilliant, absolutely brilliant. So when I saw that Jo Nesbø's books were on the 3 for £5 offer at the works, I snapped a couple up. So this one is The Bat. Harry is out of his depth. Detective Harry Hole is meant to keep out of trouble. A young Norwegian girl on a gap year in Sydney has been murdered and Harry has been sent to Australia to assist in any way he can, but he's not supposed to get too involved. Chances are he probably is. So looking forward to that one. It is chunker, but it's thriller, so hopefully the plot will drive me along in this one. And the 2020 release for a contemporary is If I Had Your Face by Frances Cha. So yeah, this is a story set in South Korea, plunges us into the mesmerising world of contemporary Seoul, a place where plastic surgery is as routine as getting a haircut, where women compete for spots in secret room salons to entertain wealthy businessmen after hours, where K-pop stars are the object of all consuming obsession and ruthless social hierarchies dictate your every move. So we're following a couple of women who are trying to navigate through this world in Seoul. So yeah, set in South Korea. So I'm really, really excited to read this book. Oh, it's an even number. Oh, thank God for that. Oh, I'm so worried. So it's an even number, so we can move forwards. So move 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have another thriller and another contemporary. So the thriller is to listen to an audiobook and the contemporary is to read one of my many Mills and Boon. Love that. Love that. Now, in regards to the audiobook, what I'm going to do, because if I'm pre-filming this video, so if I try and pick an audiobook now, it might not be available by the time January comes around. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pick an audiobook that I feel like at the time, it will be a thriller, but I'm going to pick an audiobook at the time that I'm ready to read it, and then I will let you know which one I've read in my wrap-up at the end of the month. So yeah, I can't show you which audiobook I'm going to pick at the moment, but I can show you the Mills and Boon that I had to pick, and I am picking this one. It is The Devil and Drusilla by Paula Marshall. It is a historical romance, so it is like this. Mills and Boon are kind of like Silhouette, I believe. They're kind of like the sister company to Silhouette, and I have just noticed I have a bookmark in there, so at some point I must have tried to read this and not got through it, because it was only at page 36, so I will probably have to start that from the start again. But yeah, so I'll be reading this book. I liked having that double. Oh no! No way! No! All of that, all of that for nothing. Okay, so we've got to go back five spaces. I don't want to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You've done me dirty, Bookgammon. You've done me dirty. So we have another thriller and a middle grade. We're going to have enough cards here so I can get to the end of the board. Oh my goodness. Okay, so the thriller is to read a book with girl in the title, and the middle grade is one with a green on the cover. So yeah, there we go. Oh, please no more odd number doubles. I can't do this. The thriller was to read a book with girl in the title. So for that, I've gone for Gone Girl by Gillian Flynn. Sachonga. We've got a lot of thrillers and we've got a lot of big thrillers. Yeah, this one, it's a very popular thriller. It says there are two sides to every story. Who are you? What have we done to each other? These are the questions Nick Dunn finds himself asking on the morning of his 5th wedding anniversary when his wife Amy suddenly disappears. So yeah, we're going to go into that one. And then the middle grade with a green cover, I'm going to read Holopox. I really wanted to get to this for Believeathon 3 in November, but I didn't manage to get to it. So I'm going to be reading it in January. It is The Hunt for Morrigan Crow by Jessica Townsend, or Holopox, The Hunt for Morrigan Crow by Jessica Townsend. This is book 3 in the Nevermore series. I thought this was only going to be a trilogy. Turns out it's going to be more than that. So yeah, we can expect more books to come in this series. These books are stunning. Under the Desk Jacket, absolutely beautiful. You can get these in paperback, but I had to get them in the hardback because they're just so beautiful. So yeah, the Nevermore series is about a young girl who is deemed to be a cursed child in her family and in her town. So anything that ever goes wrong is always her fault. Don't know why. I think it's a circumstance of her birth or something. So she's known as a cursed child. And she is cursed to die on her 11th or 12th birthday or something like that. But instead, she is whisked away to the place of Nevermore by a man called Jupiter North. And she has to take part in the Nevermore trials. And the story proceeds from there. So we're reading Holopox. I've lost count as to how many rolls I've had to do. Oh, that helps, that helps. Okay, so we're gonna move this one 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And this one 3. 1, 2, 3. So we have another thriller and another fantasy. So the thriller is a paperback and the fantasy is a retelling. Lovely. I've got a few of those on my shelves. For roll 8, we rolled a fantasy and a thriller. So the fantasy is to read a retelling. For that one, I've picked up Spinning Silver by Naomi Novik. I was intrigued about this when I first saw it back in 2019, but I never picked it up. But since her Deadly Education book came out just at the end of 2020, I was even more intrigued to pick up her writing. So I picked this up from Waterstones on their buy one get one half price deal. I have removed the sticker. I don't like stickers on my books. This is apparently a retelling of Rumpelstiltskin, I think. So Miriam is the daughter of a villager's moneylender, but poverty beckons as her father's too kind-hearted to collect his debts. And then Miriam hardens her own heart and takes up his work. Her success creates rumours she can turn silver into gold, which attract the Fairy King of Winter himself. He sets her an impossible challenge, and if she fails, she dies. Yet if she triumphs, a fate worse than death awaits. So, yeah, a retelling of Rumpelstiltskin. So, cannot wait to read this one. And the thriller I had to pick was a paperback, just any paperback. So I picked another Gillian Flynn book. I hope I like Gillian Flynn's writing because I've never read her stuff before. So this is Sharp Objects by Gillian Flynn, and it says this family isn't nuclear, it's toxic. It is a very short book, and it says it's been a while, but Camille Preaker has finally gone home. Sent to investigate the disappearance of two little girls, Camille finds herself reluctantly installed in the family mansion, reacquainting herself with her distant mother and a precocious 13-year-old half-sister she barely knows. Haunted by a family tragedy, troubled by the disquieting grip her younger sister has on the town, and Camille struggles with a familiar need to be accepted. But as clues turn into dead ends, Camille finds herself identifying with the young victims and realises she will have to unravel the puzzle of her own past if she's to survive this homecoming. So, yes, very excited to get to this one. Sounds really, really intriguing. So, yes, about time I got to this one. I swear, if I get another double odd number. 2 and a 5. Okay. So, let's move this one 2, 1, 2, and this one 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're in the home stretch, people. Don't throw another odd double. So we have this time a graphic novel or manga. We really need one of those. And another classic. Oh my goodness. So the classic is one that's had a movie adaptation. And the yellow is to, pick a different genre. So that means I can pick any prompt that is on this card. Definitely not picking the over 500 pages. I'll pick a romance because I need to get those read. So for this one, I'm going to pick the contemporary prompt, which is to read a romance. So there you go. On to roll 9. We had a classic and a graphic novel or manga, but the graphic novel manga prompt was to pick a different genre. So I decided to go for a contemporary, to pick a romance, because I'm wanting to get my Mills and Boon out of my collection this year, or in 2021. So this is another Mills and Boon. It is The Wastrel by Margaret Moore. It is another historical romance and looks like this. So this is England 1862. Clara Wells' eccentric family drew enough sidelong glances her way that she could do without the attentions of London's most notorious rake. But the sinfully charming Lord Mulholland was renowned for getting whatever or whomever he desired. It's romance. What more can I say? And the classic was to read a book that also has a movie adaptation, and The Railway Children. The Railway Children does have a movie adaptation. I don't think it's been adapted. I said that really weirdly. I don't think the book has had a recent adaptation, but it definitely has had a very old version adaptation. I know I watched it when I was a kid. I just loved that old movie style. So yeah, The Railway Children by E. Nesbit. So this is a story of a family whose father goes off to war. Oh no, he's mysteriously imprisoned. I thought he went off to war, but anyway. So Roberta, Peter, Phyllis and their mother have to leave their happy life in London to live in a small cottage in the country. There they take comfort in the nearby railway station and discover that the gentleman who takes the same train every day might be the key to proving their father's innocence. So yes, very whimsical, very nostalgic and hopeful story. So yeah, I'm going to be reading that one. 6! Yay! That's what we like to hear. So this one moves 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it is home, which means there is no prompt. Which means there is no prompt for me to read. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that one we have another classic to read, because of course. And for this one we need to do a random number generator. So I will do that one. And there's no real point in me rolling again, but let's do it anyway. And we're home. And then the final roll, one of our pieces got home and we didn't need a prompt for that one. So we only have one prompt for this roll, and that was to read a classic, and we need to do a random number generator for it. So let me get a random number generator on my phone. So according to my numbers, I have 67 classics. So let's get that on there. So I have 67 classics. So let's see if we can... Number 9. Okay. So number... No. No. I don't want to read this one. Okay, that's it. I don't like this TBR game. I'll be with you in a moment. I'm just going to sob. To show you, it was number 9. Number 9 I have not read. Number 9 is the Count of Monte Cristo. I have 19 books to read. And my TBR game has chosen for me to read the Count of Monte Cristo. This is 875 pages. So there you go. That's my TBR game for January. I've got 19 books to read. I don't want to play this game no more. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like, comment and subscribe. And I will see you in the next video. I'm going to die. Bye.